Welcome to episode 48 of the Armchair Analysts podcast. This is a special Snowmageddon episode as we get destroyed from above with some ice pellets, but we're here, we're alive, probably frozen in by now, but I'm your host, Johnny. With me is...
Ace.
Ace Daddy, freezing
You're getting me out of the intro altogether.
Which you could just keep you as eye candy. It wouldn't be a horrible thing. I'm just kidding.
Hey, whatever helps the ratings.
We're back from Christmas. Everything seems to be going okay. You haven't gotten hurt or
new shirt?
New shirt, looking good. I got myself some nice toys. You know, it's pretty cool, but we're back to the grind, working, recording, the usual, but New Year's right around the corner, very exciting time, but we want to sneak a quick episode in here. We got some stuff that's been going on. For the rundown, I'm going to start with my random rant. We have regional roundup. Vikings basically starting the offseason early. Packers probably like a very good chance of getting that first seed. Talk a little bit about Badgers and Gophers. Soundbite of the week, actually, Ace put together a nice little video of the Gophers basketball, the post-game speech after a big win over Iowa. Tee-off topic. What is the tee-off topic? Just really quick for me.
I think just outside drama within the sports landscape and where it becomes a problem and who can kind of navigate those boundaries. In reference to sort of like the whole, we know as we're trying to get our show off the ground, brand is huge. And these players have a huge platform right now. And so it's like, does it, how much of an impact is it really going to cost them on the field at the end of the day if they've already developed a big brand, i.e. James Harden, or on the contrary?
All right. Let's not give away everything. I just asked for a lead-in.
You didn't let me talk as quick as... No, I'm kidding.
It's all good. And then we'll wrap it up with Ace's Quick Six. So, do we just get into it? Do you have anything else you want? Do you want to tell us about your Christmas real quick, or?
Yeah, so come from a mixed marriage. Celebrate both. This was not actually planned, the blue and white for Hanukkah.
Everyone, I'm pretty sure everyone knows, but just in case, what do you mean by mixed marriage? What are the two?
Oh, Jewish and Catholic background, Christian. So yeah, or Catholic actually, got to get that right. It's kind of a weird combo, but yeah, we had a good Christmas. Zoom chatted with family on the day of Christmas Eve. I did go over to my sister's, so may have broke a little bit of COVID law with the party, but I was safe at home afterwards.
Call it small gathering. Don't call it a party.
Whoops. Small gathering. That's right. So how was yours?
Pretty good. Spent a couple of days with the in-laws. I didn't drink that much. It was very weird, very characteristic. I had a migraine for like 80% of Christmas Day, but aside from that, food was good. Got to watch the Bucks. Got to watch the Badgers. Life was pretty good.
Ooh.
Gift exchange went really well. I made out like a bandit, I think, but I also bought a lot of toys for myself, which this year 2020 was like a treat yourself year. But
the drone was kind of did I tell you I had a drone?
Yes, I've seen the footage. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, the drone is something nice.
Yeah, I think if there's ever been a year to treat yourself, I think this is probably it. But I got my new chair. I got my lumbar support. No more creaking and squeaking. I got a nice 27-inch monitor to go with this 27 or 24-inch piece of crap. But got a nice putter, so got some good swag.
Your golf game's going to get serious this year. I'm kind of excited for it. You're starting early.
Well, you got it, Charlie. Woods. But yeah, so we've had some good things happen. The listeners being one of those good things that happened this year that we can be grateful for. I mean, already we're at 48 episodes. We've almost had a full year here, so I want to thank everybody for listening. If you're not already, please give us a follow at a podcast. We're on every major platform for streaming podcasts and on the YouTubes. Please check it out. Please check us out. Share us with a friend. Rate, comment, whatever you can do. It definitely helps us keep doing what we like to do. All right, Now, Random Rant is actually going to be about this chair. Dude, I have read the reviews. I've wanted this chair. It's a Secret Lab Omega. I absolutely love it. I've had it on my wish list for probably maybe almost 4 years. And I've been using some pretty crappy chairs, and my back has been messed up since like JV football time, like right. Like it's been bad for a minute. I'm 32. Yeah. Like it's been bad for a hot minute. I've sat in this chair for I've had it not even a week now, and I have no back pain. Like the lumbar support and like everything, like it's insane how important a chair is. We've been working from home, most of us, since like March, maybe April, maybe a little bit later than that. If you're sitting on a wood chair right now, that's not even an option. You should
tweet out the link.
I'm not.
Tweet out the link.
I'm not. You do your own research, find out what works in your budget, because this chair, like it's might be a little bit more than most people are willing to spend. This thing, when it's not on sale, is about $400. So if you want a really good quality chair, maybe see if you can steal one from your office, because the importance of how your butt, back, and lower back is, like it's. I know that you're working from home. I've been doing it, and we're probably going to be working from home for, I don't know, at least 3-4 more months minimum. So maybe longer. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm biting the bullet. They actually, my company did say that we could take our office chairs, but it just feel like if I were just to load that up in my truck and just like dip like that.
What you do is keep it on the wheels straight up, so the seat's like up, and just strap it down awkwardly in the back. I don't know. Well, it probably wouldn't fit. You'd have to.
It would fit. It would just be weird because they always told me not to steal from the company, but I don't know. Just walking out with a chair feels a little. There's a little guilt behind that, but seriously though, like if you have an option to see if you can take your chair from work, or just invest. I mean, because the worst case scenario, when we're back in the office, you'll have a nice chair to sit in your home office. It's not a horrible investment no matter what, because if you're sitting on your butt as much as a lot of us are, like it's definitely a worthwhile investment. So,
yep.
All right, regional roundup time. You have to tell me what the hell happened last weekend. Them Vikings, the Saint killers, the Saint slayers.
We're without Kendricks. I mean, Anthony Barr's been out since late September anyways. Our defense is right now kind of a disaster. I know injury should be a problem, but we have such, and this goes back to the decision to not pick up Stefanski or re-sign Stefanski or the defensive coordinator, George Edwards. We let both our coordinators go, and I think Zimmer tried to think that he could outsmart everyone by getting rid of the cornerbacks. We knew we were getting rid of Rose. Why were we thinking of trying to get rid of Trey Waynes when we had nobody else, basically? We started 2 cornerbacks all year, 2 rookie cornerbacks all year. We basically copied the Packers of last year. Because wasn't Jair Alexander, or was that 2 years ago?
He's in his third season.
Okay, third, whatever. I feel like the Packers had this kind of like...
No, that was when they... that was 2016 or 2017 when they literally started 2... It was Gunter and Goodson.
Yeah, like
they
most of the year.
They went to the NFC Championship with that, though. So... Doesn't help your argument whatsoever, but yes.
Yeah, I mean, we could get somebody's behind the center. That's the difference. Look who's behind the center. But yeah, so overall, you got to go back, and I think you got to look at those decisions and pinpoint this really on Zimmer. We didn't and the general managing position, Rick Spielman. What were the conversations they were having that made them decide to get rid of those guys to Anthony Harris, that we re-signed that guy, or we signed him to a big deal as free safety alongside Harrison Smith, and watched the last 2 games. He got ran over by Kamara last week. It's just everything was imploding.
You know what? This is also partially your fault, because I played against Kamara in the fantasy championships, which also congratulations, I'm sorry for your second place. But so I played against Kamara and Diggs. So that's 8 touchdowns between 2 players. I had no chance. But
yeah, Vikings.
Man,
Vikings bowed out last week and this week against the Saints, and I kind of knew it was going to be a pass-happy game, or at least a mix of both. And really, Kamara on the ground, I lit us up.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot you can say for allowing 6 touchdowns. Like that's just. Literally, yeah, that's it. Just shake your head and just kind of... You're not mad. You're just disappointed. You're just disappointed. But
Yeah,
at
it's
this
like
rate,
your
I mean, what do
kid
you?
comes home with a bad grade, and you're just disappointed. You knew they could
That's
do better.
that's not like a that's not you just do that for like a D though. Like this is like a straight F. Like you allowed 6 touchdowns to one
Oh,
player.
true. You're right. This is just doom.
But I mean, at the same time though, like it's not like a death blow. Like it's not like you got knocked out of the playoffs. Your chance to get into the playoffs were very slim at that
Mm-hmm.
point. You know,
Yeah. Yep.
and even if you were to make the playoffs, like
The fact that Kendricks must have been more hurt than I thought, Eric Kendricks, to not play in the Bears game, and clearly he didn't play this week too. So that hurts. Ultimately, I think next year is going to be a different. It's going to be better because the corners are.
That's what you have to tell yourself, though. That's
optimism. A Minnesota hopeless optimism.
The season's not even done, and you're just like, well, next year will be better. Well, I mean, it couldn't really have gone down much worse.
Well, what more do you want to see out of the season this year, Frank?
Oh no, there's nothing else this season. But to already say next season will be better, I mean, you probably said that last year, and that's look what happened. At least wait till the draft, bro. At least wait till the draft. That's all I'm asking. Let the people who are enjoying 2020 season, let them enjoy it just for a little bit. Let's not look.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I feel you, man. And you know what? Once Rodgers is gone, I'm sure I'll be in the same boat as you right now. But obviously, Jordan Love's going to be amazing. I do want to talk a little bit about AJ Dillon. So,
oh God, yeah.
Williams was out, which is perfectly fine. Wasn't going to be a huge part of the game plan anyway. Aaron Jones, who, thank God that they didn't replay that one run he had where he stepped out of bounds. He's able to eclipse 1,000 yards. It looks like a great season for him. Contract year, unfortunately, so maybe they were trying to hold him back just a little bit. A, to save him for the playoffs, and B, also so his numbers weren't outrageous. So maybe we can try to at least maybe get away with tagging him and getting a deal structured after the fact. But AJ Dillon coming in relief, our third-string running back, a very highly contested second-round pick, because I know everyone was freaking out about Jordan Love, no doubt. But right after that, they went for a running back. When at the time, we had two very strong running backs that we were very confident in. And AJ Dillon, the dude,
he's big.
He's thick with like 8 C's after that because his quadriceps are bigger than my chubby waist. Like the dude, he is. And one of my favorites, like the Packer players. I don't know if you watched the game, but he tried to do a Lambeau leap, but he failed miserably. And the second time they had to help him up, and I know that the Packers Twitter, or maybe it was the Packers Instagram, they posted something about if at first you don't succeed, score a TD and try again. And Alan Lazard comments like all those leg muscles, and you can't do a Lambeau leap.
I would have used that teaser as the soundbite of the week because I saw that happening and I'm like, oh, this is gold. But the commentators, NBC, never really caught on much on that.
But that was I think you kind of had to be patient with that pick because there wasn't ever really a time when we were having a lead and featuring the run game. And this was the game to do it. Like this is like the worst case scenario for the Titans because I normally always disagree with anything Chris Collinsworth says, but this is like the worst way that the Titans matched up because they run block. They will hand it off to Henry 20, 25, 30 plus times. Pass blocking is not what they do. So
they knew they were going to be down.
That's the Packers, that's what they do, man. We're going to score almost all of our points in the first half. This game, different, thank God. But, at the same time, it's like, none of the Packers players really had issues with their footing or anything like that. But letting Dillon just carry the rock and just wear them down. Like, yeah, he had a couple runs where, he definitely missed the hole or, he wasn't patient enough. But more often than not, he was pushing and pulling people extra yards. Honestly, it looked like he was Derrick Henry for a little bit.
Yeah.
Like he didn't bust off a huge run, but I mean, it was an impressive display. It was almost 300 yards on the ground just between those two. So,
and I think had they taken somebody different than Jordan Love, I think the whole combo of a quarterback running back may have felt different. Taking him in the second there because the fact that both these guys, I think Williams will likely be back, but I don't know about Aaron Jones' status. I don't know which one will be back, but the fact that both of them are on the end of their contract years, it made kind of some sense to
Yeah,
get
well,
a
that's the thing. It's
quality player.
as much as fans and the organizations love both players. Realistically, they're
Yep.
not both going to be back.
Yep.
Last time I looked, I think there was 26 players whose contracts are up. So there's a lot of decisions that need to be made. Like the Packers are doing okay in terms of cap, but I mean, you got to worry about rookie deals coming to an end next year. You got to worry about re-signing your players this year, possible free agency this year too. Like there's a lot of shit going on. So I wouldn't expect Jones to be back. It's nice to have a backup plan, but there no one on the team, receivers included, can match his versatility, at least like with the passing game. Like,
No.
I mean, you could throw a bubble screen to Devontae, but like you're not going to be able to. Jones, what he can do to slice up that defense, like Williams, love him, he can't do that. You saw AJ Dillon's his hands, they're not terrible, but they leave a lot to be desired. So,
do you think they end up signing Jones? Because Williams
they could tag him. It wouldn't be that big of a hit if they tag him, but I don't know. The Packers have never paid a running back in my lifetime.
Yeah,
like to honestly, that extent. Now how big contracts are, I mean, they just don't do it. So
plus that's off-season talk, Aaron.
True.
My mind's
but
already.
As far as right now, in living the now, right now it's beat the Bears in Chicago. Beat the Bears in Chicago. Play spoiler. Knock them out of the postseason. Secure the number 1 seed for us. Everything runs through Lambeau, and if we have more snow globe games, things are going to go very well for Green Bay. Get the Saints out of that dome. Yeah, buddy.
If somebody had asked you that 1.5 teams out of the NFC North make it into the playoffs, over under 1.5, would you have taken the over?
Before the season started?
Before the season started, 1.5. So you got the Bears, the Packers, and potentially the Vikings.
I always overrate our division, unfortunately. I always will. Because I always feel like the Lions, like if they can just get some of their shit together, like the team is talented. Like they have good talent on both sides, but they just can't pull. Like they either start off really hot and then end poorly, or they'll start really poorly and then start doing well when it doesn't matter and they can't compete for the playoff spot. The Bears also have a ton of talent on both. And I think it's the same with all the teams, actually. Like the Vikings, too. Like, a very talented roster, granted an unproven secondary, aside from Harrison. But, I mean, the offense didn't change. Arguably, it might have gotten worse because Justin Jefferson was an unproved commodity. But, I mean, it's not like Dalvin Cook is going to get worse within 1 year. So, I don't know. No. I feel like I probably would have taken the over just because I highly doubt the consistency with the other divisions, but I also pay a lot more attention to the NFC North too. So
yeah, and truthfully, I'd like to see them knock the Bears out as well.
That's Aaron's specialty. All right,
they play spoiler ours. Yeah, sorry, carry on.
No worries. So I just want to mention that the Wisconsin Badgers football team have a quote unquote bowl game. The Duke's Mayo Bowl being played tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Central Time. So, I mean, at 3, they're playing Wake Forest, who's 4-4. The Badgers themselves 3-3. They're basically just throwing them in a bowl game because they can throw them in a bowl game. It's pretty depressing overall, but that's where we're at. So that's tomorrow.
The day before New Year's Eve.
Morning.
Bowl game.
Morning. Yeah. Not a prime time slot, not even an afternoon slot. 11 a.m., baby.
I think the Gophers basketball team might be able to get a prime time slot before then.
It's probably looking like it. Speaking of the Golden Gophers, no, actually. Still, Badger basketball, like I said, I got to watch the MSU game. Very exciting. And then yesterday, kind of laid an egg against the Terrapins. So, I mean, the 2 losses this season, the Marquette loss and the Terps loss, like those, I don't know, they sting. They really sting because those were both winnable games. Some missed free throws, some poor decision making defensively at the end of the game, and all of a sudden, like, I don't know. As soon as the Badgers got put in the top 10, I kind of just shook my head and just kind of, I literally just looked at my phone and like, shit.
How?
Mostly that, but most of their tough games are coming up still. They'll get a chance at redemption versus the Terps, but yeah, a couple of really ugly losses. The thing is, it's like if they're gonna lose and it's gonna be like absolute domination, like yeah, it doesn't feel good. But this early in the season, you take it, it's whatever. But like those were both very winnable games. Like, very, very winnable games.
Correct. And you forgot the program actually plays the Gophers 2 days from now.
Oh.
FYI. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not even a blip on my radar at this point. I'm just kidding. I'm just
kidding. Right. You're on cloud 9 with the Packers. Like, literally, you're on a
I do feel
flight,
bad. I do feel bad.
You're on a jet. You're on private jet. Everyone else is just down here right
I
now.
feel bad because as much as I'd love to cover the Badgers, like, they're just so much lower on my radar. Like, the Bucks, too. Like, I'm not going to talk about that Knicks game, but, you know, it's great being able to watch sports and have little jeopardy. Like, you don't really feel like they're in jeopardy of being postponed or canceled anymore. We feel like we're past that, especially with the vaccine being available.
Yep.
But at the same time, like, it's, I don't know, it's still
it helps.
Yeah, it helps, but it's still like you kind of have the lingering feeling, kind of the gross taste in your mouth of the last year, you know. Just like, well, yeah, but no, it's overall been pretty good. I think right now, yeah, the focus is going to be NFL for this show and definitely myself. But
yeah,
I mean the season's going to be done in a month, so if you're into more college sports, we'll try to keep that in mind.
And
Bucks
pivot to
will
NBA.
definitely wait until that's done. We when I find out there's no March Madness again, then I'll be pissed off, and then we can talk Bucks. We can talk NBA. Okay.
Ooh, touche. Okay, I like that. Segueing into college basketball still, the Gophers knocked off Iowa, which, as Johnny alluded to in the intro, the rundown, will be the soundbite of the week here. We also beat Michigan State. So back-to-back wins in the Big Ten for the Gophers basketball team, which is good. They're off to a 9-1 start. 9 wins, 1 loss. So we're 3-1 in the division. And like I said, we play the Gophers.
You play the Gophers?
Oh, my God. Oh, we play the Badgers. I wish we played ourselves, but it doesn't count then. That wouldn't be fun.
9-1?
Play the Badgers New Year's Eve.
Oh, well,
New Year's Eve.
I'll be very intoxicated. All right. Do you want to set up this soundbite for us, Daddy?
Yes, yeah. Post-game. So last week we upset Iowa. I think they were technically number 4th ranked team, and Luke Garza, arguably the best player in the Big Ten, and was early candidate to win Big Ten Player of the Year this year. And it's post-game locker room. Richard Pitino just addressing the team afterwards.
All right, let's check it out.
Hey, listen, guys. I'm proud of you because you stayed the course. You made big-time plays when you needed to. And you were confident. Brandon, you came in, and I've never seen a spark lit like that before in a game.
No.
You a big Christmas guy or something? Hey, really proud of you guys. That was a team effort. I talked over and over again about when you have all new guys, a bunch of new guys, keep taking the steps forward. You took a major step forward in that overtime. Great job. I'm proud of you. Merry Christmas. Listen.
Man, maybe we need to be worried about this Gopher team. Maybe they're for real. Maybe they're for real.
Until that video, I couldn't tell you really who was on the team, honestly, because we've got a slew of transfers. But we play hard. I like it. You never know.
Yeah. Well, that's the nice thing. Remember? Oh, it's always next season, right? Well, it is next season for the Golden Gophers basketball team, and they're making the best of it. Now I'm actually, I didn't know the Gophers were doing that well, so I'm actually kind of excited now.
This will be a big game for them, actually, against the Badgers. We always play tough there, or not up top, I should say. It'll be a good game.
Too bad the football team didn't have that same mentality. Get that X. All right. As we work our way down, I think Ace here needs to set up the tee-off topic, which he is so vehemently passionate about. But before we do that, I do want to show off this little guy here. This I'm showing right in the camera. This is my autographed Devontae Adams helmet, and after last week,
the autograph.
What?
Twist it a little so that.
So you don't know what the hell that says, but it says 17, and I have a certificate of authenticity. I can't read the damn thing, but I've cherished it because this past weekend, he just looked unstoppable. Like every ball they threw his way, even when it's like, okay, you just throw it to Devontae like 3 times this drive. Nope, touchdown. Don't do it again. Like it's uncanny, and I just have,
It's so many different routes too. That's what's so unique about
so
it.
they were showing I'm mostly against what the Sunday Night Crew ever says or talks about or features, but they showed a lot of Devontae, and they showed just like his intricate foot patterns and how he doesn't use his hands. So when he breaks off the line, whenever he gets into his route, like he does not use his hands at all. So even in the snow, the dude is just breaking ankles out there, and I don't know. I already had a ton of respect for him, but just after watching him, I'm sorry for the digression, but damn, it's nice to watch him work, and knock on wood that he stays healthy through the playoffs, because I don't know how the hell you defend him. I really don't, man. I really don't. But please.
The best duos, you're bringing up like Mahomes and Hill, Allen and Diggs. Like these are the arguably the best duos.
Well, and the fact that he caught Rodgers' 200th touchdown pass and 400th, that just shows just how dominant he's been for such a stretch. But tee off topic, you want to talk? We got our boy Dwayne Haskins, who, after visiting a gentleman's club and then having a very piss poor performance, was cut by the Washington football team, and then you compared that to James Harden and his toxic locker room presence. So you were asking me who's in a worse situation.
Opposite. Yeah, more.
Well, one doesn't have a job, Ace. One doesn't have an effing job. So.
Correct. It's more like the opposite parallels that they find themselves in, where one has developed such a strong brand that it doesn't matter really at what point, like what he does the rest of his life on the basketball court, he's still going to be recognizable and he could still get advertisement deals. Whereas Dwayne Haskins, from all accounts, people were telling the front office not even to go that way anyways to draft him that high. But obviously that's everyone comes out of the woodwork, after something like this happens instead of before. Nothing leaks. It's funny how that works out. Point is, Haskins is on the completely opposite end, where the dude is, he's making a lot of money, but did you see the fines they were given? 40,000 and 50,000
for the no masks.
Yeah, no masks. Yeah. So it's like, okay, you're not even treating the same, they're not in the same economic status basically, but they're professional.
They're doing okay. He was a first round.
They're millionaires.
He's okay. We're not going to see a GoFundMe for Dwayne Haskins for a little bit.
No. So my whole thing was just like, which situation looks worse for a franchise overall, and who really, I know it doesn't matter in terms of like rebuilding that team, but do you think there's an onus on players now that they're in more of a spotlight and have a larger social media presence for a brand to actually take more thoughtful recognition of their actions finally?
Are you asking me for my personal opinion on that?
I know you don't care, probably.
No, because I feel
yes.
Because I feel like you answered your question as you were asking it. You answered it because, I mean, James Harden's been in the league since before you had pubes. Dwayne Haskins has been trying to prove himself since it's his rookie year, granted, was very rough. And then he didn't, they kind of phased him in and out the last year or so, but obviously they want Smith, but Smith isn't always good to go. He's an old man, comeback player of the year, yada, 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 whatever road you want to go down. Haskins has never had a game where it's like, damn, like this dude's a player. Like, we need to hold on to him. He's had a couple okay games, but most of the time it's like, all right, like, well, I mean, what do you do? Like, your defense is playing so dominantly.
Yeah.
And, you have weapons on offense. You have an okay offensive line. But the guy's just making Wentz-like decisions. He's turning the ball over at an incredible rate. And at this point, it's like, people, kind of bashed him for going to the strip club. I'm like, you know what? I guarantee that if he would have played well that Sunday, I don't think a whole lot of people would have cared, and I don't think he would have gotten cut. He just because it's speaking of strip clubs, James Harden, hello.
Yeah.
What? Hello?
Correct.
Like, you talk about parallels.
Yeah.
These guys got their own VIP rooms to themselves with their name on it.
Yeah, it's
yeah, I mean, who's in a worse situation? Like, obviously Dwayne Haskins. He doesn't have a big contract. He doesn't have his own. I don't even know. Does he even have any licensing deals? Like, I don't think he's got anything. But, it's just, I agree. Like, obviously you could say it, after the fact that, he was overdrafted. Granted, the team was kind of going through some real changes. Obviously, they went through head coaching change, multiple personnel changes. The roster got turned over a bit, and they never really gave him the reins and just said, all right, you're our quarterback. So I get that it's a crappy situation, but I mean if he would have worn a mask in the strip club, no one would have cared, because it's not like he's the first person to go to a strip club. You've been to one. I won't go to one because I'm a nice Catholic boy. But I mean, it's not the end of the world. If he would have played well, I'm telling you, dude, the cure for everything in the NFL is just winning. Ray Lewis murdered people. He murdered them, but he won a Super Bowl. Marvin Harrison murdered somebody, won a Super Bowl. Peyton Manning used HGH deer antlers, whatever the hell it was, but he won a Super Bowl.
Leading up
to the game, but he won it and then retired, so no one cares. You win and all is forgiven. Mm-hmm. So right.
But I think that's a big point though too. Harden's never really won, so I think this rubs people differently than LeBron, for instance. Like, everybody knows LeBron dictates, and Kyrie at this point, and Kevin Durant. Don't tell me they didn't. Kyrie didn't have a say.
Yeah, well, they like to play that GM role. They're the hybrid player / GM. But again, if you win, like LeBron literally pulling strings behind, closed doors to make these trades.
The power struggle, it's like Kobe. Like, all of these top athletes had a say one way or another. It just go down the line. And I think it's more prevalent in NBA because, guys are making a F ton of money.
But it's small. It's smaller rosters. I think it's a more focused audience. Like, if you are just a casual NFL fan, you're probably only going to watch your team. But if you're a casual NBA fan, I feel like you'll just watch good matchups. That might be just my opinion, but I feel like from the course of my life and the people I've talked to,
that's a fair point.
I feel like you're more interested in, like, the league itself. Like, even if you have a favorite team. But it's like it's 15 players, so your voices are gonna be a lot louder. There's a lot more presence on the court, more screen time, definitely. So I just feel like the opportunity to kind of dictate what happens is just gonna be there. And I mean, this isn't new. I mean, you've seen players like have fits and get all pissy about this and that. I mean, remember Dwight Howard years and years ago, demanding trades and all that kind of stuff. Like, it's in the NBA, that's not so new. In the NFL, I feel like it's also not that new, but I just feel like they don't have, like, Le'Veon Bell, they're like, all right, we'll sit out a year, whatever, dude. Like,
it's funny, the biggest thing that I think comes out of this too, that kind of, now the more that we're thinking about this, it's like NBA players basically have rest days, more or less. Like Kawhi knowingly, like, ask an NFL player that. Ask a hockey
Hey, Rogers, you taking off this Sunday? All right, bro. All right, man. Like, remember, ice up, elevate. Ice up, elevate.
It's funny how so, and this is why I wanted to bring this up, because ultimately the power struggle. This is why I've hated to start watching the NBA, because I could see this happening years ago when you saw these super teams. You just knew eventually these players had to be getting into the ears of ownership, and you knew it was going on even before social media was around. But what do you do? And maybe like you said, the NBA is more niche than the NFL in terms of following, so nobody really cares unless that fan base actively brings it up. So if nobody's bringing it up, out of sight, out of mind. But it is,
I don't know, I feel like social media's kind of skewed that too. Like, I mean, even in the NBA preseason, there was a photo that went viral of James Harden during warm-ups where he looked a little chubby.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, that was over everywhere. I saw that in, like, Facebook. I don't even have Facebook on my phone, and I still saw it on the one or two times I went on it that week on my computer. I saw it on Reddit. Somebody sent it to me. Like, I don't think it matters if it's something it has the possibility of garnering attention, whether it's true, whether it's stupid or not. If it has a great accompanying visual, it's just going to catch. And then, it just starts. It's kind of how it starts. It's just like, you look at that picture, like, well, what the fuck? He looks chunky. And then you start sending that around, and then all of a sudden, like, so, his affinity for strip clubs. I don't know how many people know that, but it probably is. It doesn't seem too far-fetched, right? But just having social media and just having players that actively use it, like having it, but also people that actively use it, I feel like that's just kind of a recipe for, if you want something in your personal life to be leaked, get on social media and start posting. Because then people are going to pay attention to you more, and when they're paying attention to you more, when you F up, they're going to be on you. Like,
And it's funny how these pictures come out
dude,
now.
how many fines this year have been picked up just because a picture or something went viral?
Ooh, because of didn't the Raiders? Did
The
the Raiders football team
Raiders.
because of that picnic? Yeah.
Yeah, the Steelers have a
Oh,
TikTok video of them all together. Like,
yeah, that's a
there's
great point. People are ratting out people too. We got some
yes,
Karens and some
yes,
Kens
yes.
or however whatever the
I'm
male
not
version.
condoning a ban on social media, but I do appreciate players, Roger specifically, who don't use social media really at all during the season, because it nothing really good can come of it. He's not hurting for followers. He's not hurting for money and endorsement deals and things to support. So I think he can handle 3.5 months without it. But yeah, I think that's a big issue going forward, and that's not going to change. I mean, now that everyone has, a beautiful camera, like you can carry it around with you. You can catch anything going on at any time. You can get high quality video, get great photos. Oh, it's nighttime.
Absolutely.
All right, boom, night mode.
Hey, did I mention I have a drone too? Oh man, I can get you above too.
Ace can illegally capture your footage. Yeah, so it'll be interesting. I'm hoping that Haskins gets another shot.
That's okay. Good. I was just gonna ask that.
Just to circle back, yeah, I hope he gets another shot because honestly, it's like blaming Darnold in New York or Minshew on the Jags. It's like there were some pieces, but like you never really had a shot, like right. Like if you're starting a job where they don't onboard you, they don't give you any tools. Like, I mean, your performance review comes up. Like, of course you're gonna look like crap. Like,
yeah. Yep. Exactly. I'm glad you answered that. Plus another, just to wrap it up. Also, wasn't it funny that Harden got a say in teams, and like one of them was Milwaukee, and didn't Giannis have an option to pick him in like the All-Star game last year? That like teams against teams thing, and he didn't even do it. Like Team Giannis versus Team LeBron or some crap. So it's like, why the heck would Harden, like, that would never work.
Yeah, an ISO player on the Bucks offense? Yeah, I don't think so.
No.
All right.
No.
Bring us home, man. Aces Quick 6. Week 17 edition.
Yeah, I wish I
Deep
could say
breath.
it was like Vikings, split between Vikings, Packers, but because there's a huge game in the NFC North between the Packers and Gophers, we're going with that for the prop bets this week. Like I mentioned last week, Johnny is up 31-28, so I got to win 4 this week, I think, to take you. It's possible. We'll see. First one, Bears field goals. Over under 2.5, Johnny. Johnny goes first.
Under. They're getting tutties. They're getting tutties.
Okay. All right. I'm going to lock her in. Next one, total turnovers. Over under 1.5 on the game. So it's both teams, 1.5. Oh my God. I'm going to say under. Aaron says under. That almost seems like a trap. Whatever. All right. First half, Johnny. Total Bears first half points. 10.5 it's set at. What do you think that's going to be? I like that half, obviously.
Vegas knows what they're doing, man. Like, I doubted them for so long because I got in a couple good streaks with betting. But if you look over the course of a season at these lines, they're right more often than not. Or they literally will split it. They'll split it and get a push.
That's actually a good stat.
I think over. I think they've been playing. Their offense is really hot. A lot of people are underestimating them right now, and I will always downplay the Packers whenever possible. Last week was probably the best team victory, like all 4 quarters. Special teams look like absolute trash, but I gotta say, like offense and defense, like we were able to score every quarter. The defense is on fire, bringing it. I think the Bears. This is their Super Bowl right now. This is the biggest game of their season. So. You got Trubisky and Nagy fighting for their jobs, so I think they come out and they put up more points in the first half than that.
So I thought the next one is Packers second half points. They had the total set at 27.5. So first half 13.5, second 14, and I'm just doing a half point, so 14.5. Second half points. I'm gonna go over. I usually, like you had mentioned before, they're usually first half team, but we'll see here. We'll see how they finish. Lately, they've been playing strong both halves, like you mentioned. So, All right, number 5. Who wins? I just kind of like that one. Who wins?
Straight up?
I didn't want to put that as 6 because I wanted you to actually pick the game.
I mean, I can't not pick Green Bay, right?
Yeah.
Like, I have to pick the Packers. Even if somehow they
that.
weren't favored, I have to pick them. They're fighting for the first seed. Everyone loves to just dampen the Bears fan spirits on the holidays, so yeah. It's gotta be.
All right, I locked it in. And the last one, number 6, it's the last score of the game. It's either between a touchdown or a field goal, so whichever one happens last. I'm gonna say a touchdown. It seems more obvious to consider maybe a field goal, but I'm gonna go a touchdown. Might be a late one by the Bears just to cover some spread line.
Backdoor cover, my absolute nightmare.
Backdoor, yeah, it might be a backdoor cover on the Bears this weekend. That's all.
Well,
quick sticks.
Well, week 17. It's so sad. It feels like we just started not too long ago. Now we got Snowmageddon. We got Ice Bowl games.
The freaking COVID really helped kind of.
Yeah.
Groundhog's Day put us in that mentality and just work out.
It did, but you know what? We made it. Week 17. Whether your team didn't do great or they're still in playoff running, we made it through the season. Round of applause for everybody. We did it. Great job. Yeah, it should be a good game. I'm really excited. I'm really excited to drink on New Year's. Quick, your New Year's drink of choice.
Thursday.
Go.
New Year's drink of choice. Ooh, God, whiskey, Jameson, anything with.
Stop it! You don't drink Jameson. Get out of here. You're just trying to placate me. You don't pander to the audience.
I don't know, beer or whiskey.
Beer.
I don't have a specific. That's why I said Jameson to freshen it up.
I think I'm gonna do. I got a bottle of Don Julio Silver. I think I'm gonna do some margaritas with the new blender, and then I don't know. I got a nice bottle of 18-year Scotch from my boss, so I'll probably have a couple of those too.
Oh my God, that's right.
Glenfiddich, baby, gonna be good. All right, that is our episode this week. Thank everyone so much for listening. As I mentioned before, you can check us out wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, Apple, Spotify, Google, everything. We are on it. If we are not, let me know, and I will put us on there. Find us on Twitter at AA Podcast. Give us some love, give us some hate. Flame Aaron's choice of clothing and hairstyle for the day. Doesn't matter. We love to hear from everybody. Also, our beautiful mugs will be on YouTube. Every episode goes up there at the end of the week. Please check it out. If not, that's just mean and hurtful because Ace and I put some good time into getting this video up. So
yeah.
And if you're just curious at what we look like.
Website coming soon.
Website coming soon once we stop being pieces of crap. But that's it. Thank you guys for listening. I'm Johnny. That is Ace. And we are out.